Morning. Sorry about the hair. You know when you feel like your hair looks fine at the front, but it's like so greasy at the back. Anyway, I'm just going to the stables. I'm just making myself a flask of coffee before I go. And then I think I might sit down and do what I got for my birthday, because I got some really nice cute things. So nothing like too bougie, just like nice little things that you want to share. Do you know what, actually? I have just realised that I'm using 2 of my birthday presents now. So I'm going to show you. This is probably backwards on this camera because I'm using my phone at the minute. Just a girl who loves horses. This was just like, you know, a hoodie that you need to throw on for going down the yard rather than always using your nice ones and then complaining that they stink of horse. Got this from my mother-in-law, so that's nice. And then, sorry, the spoon is like, let me take it out, because that's a really annoying sound. I asked for a Chili's coffee mug, so I've not put the lid on, but it's got like a little top. But this is for me to take to work. Let me pop you down if I can. Yeah, there you go. So lid's just like that, opens, and then a little steam hole there. So in fact, let's leave the steam hole open while I am carrying hot liquids. That is its recommendation. And that was from my mum. I asked her to buy me that. You might find that I ask for really weird, not weird, but like, you know when you ask for birthday presents or Christmas presents and they might seem like odd things to people to buy for you, but it's because you just don't want to buy those things yourself. Like one year, I really wanted a long handled teaspoon just to make like sauces and things. And so I thought, well, I don't want to spend like 50p on one. I want a nice one, but I don't want to buy that myself. So I asked my mum for a long handled teaspoon and she bought me like a whole set. That's what I'm like. And also these are not that cheap in the grand scheme of things. And so it's like a nice gift for someone, isn't it? Anyway, I will speak to you soon. Just ignore the mess in my car for now, but I've encountered my first problem. So I've used this cup a few times now, but it doesn't fit. I thought it was like the size of a can, but it's not. And if I try and force it in, it pushes that bit out. So I don't know where to hold my flipping coffee now. Oh, God. What a first world problem that is. Because if I put it there, that's totally going to spill. That's not safe. Anyway, I'm going to have to work it out. I need to go. But Chili's bottles, you need to sort your sizing out. I can't live like this. Oof. I've got hiccups. And my tea's a bit too hot. Sorry, guys. I am back from the stables. And, sorry, you are positioned in a bit of a strange place on my bedroom floor because I need to get ready to go out because I'm going to the theatre to see Matilda tonight with one of my friends. But I thought I would do my makeup. Oh, this might go on the whole video. Do my makeup, so if I'm looking interchangeably, that's why. And then I will talk you through also what I got for my birthday. Let me tell you, it was my birthday last weekend. I actually filmed a what did I get for my birthday last year. And I remember sitting a little bit behind me. I'm actually also just going to turn the heating down because it's sweltering in here. I remember sitting on a chair behind me and I got mostly a bunch of gardening things, I think, for my birthday last year, which I absolutely loved and still use all of them. some of the things that I asked for have come in so handy. I have been terrible the start of this year in terms of planting stuff. I just haven't really got round to doing anything. I normally plant some extra allium bulbs, which I managed to do, I think, towards the end of last year, or whenever the last point was that you could do it. I also planted some crocuses, and that was in the hope that they would start to come up this spring, but they haven't. I do have some extras, so if they're still usable, I'll probably try and plant some extras. But what I was supposed to do is I bought a bunch of bulbs to make a plant lasagna, and at the time that I bought them, we'd had a warm snap, I was going to say a warm snap, but what do I mean? We'd had a warm period and then it went back to a cold snap, and so the ground was so frozen, and I just, yeah, couldn't plant them basically. So I then have left them behind, and well, that's where we are basically. So yes, I've been terrible with the garden. I do have some things that I want to grow this year. I'm probably already behind on some things. Some things I was waiting literally until about now to be able to plant them. But I think I got really motivated when all that nice fall spring weather came. And then, this is ridiculous, isn't it? And then, yeah, so the false spring weather came. And then, obviously, shortly after, it's been a bit hit and miss since. And I think I am a fair weather gardener. Like, I don't know if that's a legitimate phrase, but if there is such a phrase, then that is me. I'm a fair weather gardener. I don't really get motivated to get out there in the rubbish weather to plant things. I have thought about getting a gardener, to be honest. I like the idea of doing certain things myself, but I'm just so novice. I don't really have enough of a passion for it to really concentrate too much on it. And so I always just feel a bit disappointed by what I'm left with in the garden, if I'm quite honest. This year, I was struggling a bit with, you know, things that were on my list, to be honest. I feel like I'm one of those people that asks for, you know, like silly little things that probably seem like, why do you want that for your birthday, Laura? But it's things that I don't actually want to buy myself. So, hence a load of gardening stuff last year. And I think I said earlier that for Christmas one year, I'd asked my mum for some long-handled teaspoons, because yes, they probably cost me not very much money from the supermarket or Dunelm or something like that, but I want nice ones, and I don't want to spend money on them myself. But they're also not going to break the bank of somebody else. So there's a few things that I can't show you just because I'm sat here doing my makeup, but I got from my brother a blueberry bush. He said that was a random present. Look, I want a blueberry bush, okay? My mum's got a blueberry bush. I think she's had it for the last 2 years. And honestly, it goes nuts every year. It goes absolutely wild. So I definitely want one of those, or wanted one of those, sorry. But what she did say was that the birds go absolutely crazy for it. And so she bought this mini, kind of like a mini greenhouse, but it's only slightly taller than the bush itself, so that she can protect it from the birds. Now, the other thing that I did get for my birthday this year, which was from Tom, was a zip-up greenhouse. So we had one of those corrugated plastic greenhouses with like a wooden frame, and do you know what? They're not actually that cheap. Some of them cost, you know, 70 odd quid. Oh no, my light's gone. Do you know what? I'm going to carry on filming without my light because I can't be bothered to wait for it to charge. So please excuse the fact that the lighting is not so good now, but I am in daylight. It's not too bad. It's just, it was actually better for doing my makeup, but never mind. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we had one of those little greenhouses, which are actually quite expensive, some of them, and they're rubbish. They're absolutely rubbish. To be honest, the cats climb up them. The cats then went straight through the plastic on them because they were climbing on them, which obviously is to be expected. I'm not saying that's part of the poor quality or design, but they are very, very flimsy, and you know, just one winter and it was absolutely trashed, to be honest. It's still in the garden. It looks ugly as hell. I need to get rid of it. And so that was my prompt to get a greenhouse. In an ideal world, I would absolutely love a beautiful brick bottom glass greenhouse. But you know, the kind you see on Pinterest then, Pinterest and Instagram, that would be honestly just the dream. But I think the problem is that we don't really live in the house that we want for it to be worthwhile to have that type of greenhouse. And so again, I don't know how long it'll last or how good quality they are, but Tom bought me one of those walk-in but zip-up ones, so they're kind of plastic around the outside. I actually haven't unboxed that yet, so I do need to do that just to make sure that it's in good condition. On other presents from Tom, he took me out for a really nice afternoon tea. I absolutely loved that. I do think though I need to be, I don't know what the word is. Maybe afternoon tea just isn't really for me. I really wanted to go, and where we went was amazing. The reason I went there is because they're very well known for the afternoon teas that they do. But I think ultimately you always end up with too much sweet and not enough savoury, because also you have the scone, and the scone is, well, usually sweet, and I know it's not sweet like a cake, but they're often big and filling and all of that kind of stuff. I sound like I'm moaning, don't I? I'm not moaning. I'm just sort of saying that as much as I love an afternoon tea, I end up always feeling like I've not had enough savoury and I've had too much sweet, and then I really struggle to eat it. And that was exactly what happened. Unless you can go somewhere that has what are they called, a gentleman's afternoon tea, where it's like Scotch eggs and pork pies and cheese and stuff like that. But this place didn't. So it was absolutely gorgeous, but just way, way, way too much. But we ended up taking it home, so it's not like any of it went to waste or anything. It's just, I think I came home not feeling full, but also not wanting to eat anything else because I was so full of sweet stuff. And then he also got me this new purse. So it's a card holder. I've needed a new card holder for honestly years. I bought a Paul Costello one from TK Maxx. It must have been when I was at uni or something like that, because I'm pretty sure I got it in Sheffield. And I haven't lived in Sheffield for a very long time. And yes, it didn't have a zip on it, so if I put coins in it, it fell apart. The only other purse I've got is like a big Vivienne Westwood one, which is beautiful, but just no one carries like big purses around anymore, do they? And so I've had my eye on this Tory Burch one for quite a number of years actually, and I did nearly get one when I was in America, and in hindsight I probably should have, because when you buy them in America, because it's an American brand, what I've found is that their prices are cheaper, and it's not just the exchange rate, because I bought a pair of trainers and I think the trainers here were something like £325, but it wasn't like they were $325 in the UK, but you got the benefit of the exchange rate, which made it better. They were something like $250. And so actually that's quite a big chunk off the price. So I should have just got it when I was in the US, but they had a different black one, and what I really wanted at the time was either an olive green one or like a dark burgundy mulberry type colour. And I think I just missed out on the season, and I was hoping that at some point maybe I'd pick out or manage to find one in the sale, but I just never did really, or I didn't really look hard enough, and so I thought, well, black's always classic, isn't it? That's not going to go anywhere. So Tom kindly bought the black one for me. Oh, he made me a tiffin. He made me a, yeah, like chocolate tiffin, which was cute. I very, very much enjoyed that. And then what else? There was something else. Terrible. What a terrible wife, Laura. You can't remember. It'll come to me, I'm sure. And then Tom's mum bought me that hoodie that I showed you. And then she also went somewhere that was a National Trust site and got herself something that had, it was this brand and this painting. So she's obviously, I said how much I liked it, so she's obviously been back and got me a little, it's like a little, almost like a little spoon rest or a little trinket tray. You could use it in the kitchen, you could use it on your dressing table, I think, for many different things. So I love that, really happy with that. My friend got me a Space NK voucher. There were a few things that I wanted from Space NK, and so I said, look, I would just love a voucher, to be honest with you, and then I'll be able to get everything I need. But this little bad guy cost so much that actually this was the only thing that I bought with the voucher, because she very generously got me a £50 voucher, and this is about £55. It's the Medik8 Crystal Retinol Ceramide i6. So I started on the 3 because I've never had any sort of skincare like that before, so they say to go light. And I can't remember what podcast it was, but there was a podcast I listened to. In fact, you know what, it might have been a Mel Robbins one where there was a skincare or dermatologist or something, a skincare expert or dermatologist on there, and they were saying that their preference would be don't use a stronger product twice a week. They'd actually much prefer, you know, you can use that type of product every day, but use the lighter version of it. And so I did start with the 3, and I'd probably say I did used to have that most days, if not every day. And I thought, well, now I'll probably bump it up to the 6 and just see how it goes. So that only came the other day, so I've used that maybe twice, I think. No side effects or anything like that, so that's really good. I also got a voucher from, I got a lot of vouchers actually, so I also got a voucher from my brother-in-law and sister-in-law. So that was for Holland Cooper, surprise, surprise. So I will definitely be picking something up from there. I'm thinking I might get myself a pair of breeches. If not, I'll probably get something non-equestrian, but I haven't decided what yet. But, you know, I love that brand, and so there will 100% be something that comes up. I don't need to rush. I think sometimes you feel like when you get a voucher, you need to spend it straight away. But you don't. And so I won't be doing, I'll be buying something that I really, really want. So I'll just be holding on that one for now. But that was great. Very much appreciated. And then, so my brother and my sister-in-law are quite, what's the word? My brother's very laid back. He works away. He's probably therefore not the best at communicating. And so he asked me what I wanted for my birthday and got me a present, but she also got me a present, and they clearly didn't communicate and get a joint present together, which is what they would normally do. So he got me the blueberry bush, but my sister-in-law, it got me some stuff from Norfolk Natural Living Company. So I've got this tomato geranium hand cream, which smells a bit like, if you've had the Dalesford tomato candle, it's a bit like that. But you could definitely get the geranium in there as well. And then this one is Gardener's Hand Cream, which is jasmine and vanilla. They smell amazing. Oh yeah, this one's more like sweet, I guess, and the bigger one is fresh. And I love having stuff like that to hand. Yeah, so I will definitely be using those. And also came with it was a reed diffuser. That's really nice. It was called like Coastal something. So I think it had vanilla, sandalwood, a few other bits. Yes, so very much going to enjoy that. It's currently on the windowsill in our landing, sorry, because we've not had anything there for a little while and it was feeling a little bit bare. And now, because it is actually a really good quality one, every time I go past the landing, I get this like gorgeous little waft of the scent. So that was lovely. What else? Oh, my dad bought me a voucher for like a high tea at a really nice restaurant and hotel in Manchester, so I'll definitely be using that. They do a gentleman's afternoon tea actually, so I will definitely be getting that one. But it's very nice there. And then I thought I'd gotten away with the birthday thing at work because, you know, it's a smaller company. People, you know, do a bit for big birthdays, but, you know, I'm new, no one knows me. Like, I didn't really expect anyone to do anything for me. But I think I must have been talking to my boss about it being my birthday, because it turns out that my birthday is on the same day as his wife's birthday. And so he must have given the others a little nudge to say, oh, it's Laura's birthday on Monday. And so the girls at work in the finance team, I'm not part of the finance team, but I'm kind of, because I'm a one-woman band in my business, I'm sort of attached to the finance team. It's kind of the closest place to put me, if you like. So that's where I'm based. And yeah, the girls in the finance team arranged for a little card and a cake, so that was very cute. And then on the Friday before my birthday, my boss's EA had messaged me saying, hi Laura, when are you coming into the office next week? So I told her, but she gave me no other contacts, and I thought, oh God, it's late on a Friday. She's messaged me with no contacts saying, when are you coming in? So someone obviously wants a in-person meeting with me. She's the EA to most of the C-suite, and so I thought, oh gosh, what have I done? I'm being sacked. And then I did see her on the Monday, but she was busy, I was busy. I didn't get a chance to say, oh, did you get whatever it was you needed in terms of my time for when you were asking last week. But obviously I didn't, and it was probably a good job I didn't ask, because I would have put her in an awkward situation, because about lunchtime, the lady who works on reception messaged me saying, Laura, there's a package for you at the reception. And so I went out to reception, and let me insert the picture of the flowers that arrived, because they were insane. They were incredible. They were probably one of the most beautiful bunches of flowers I've ever received. They had two massive balls of hydrangeas in there, which were gorgeous. One like a pale blue, one like a purple and white colour. Honestly, just like beautiful flowers. But then I had to go back through the office with this big bunch of flowers, and I found that really embarrassing. But that was lovely. And then when my boss was in the office the day after, he bought me 2 books, like businessy type leadership books. One's a novel, but it's still like business related, and the other is like a leadership type book, which, to be fair, is exactly the kind of thing I would read. I don't read loads, but I prefer that kind of book or non-fiction books. So I'll definitely get some reading time out of those. And also a bottle of Veuve champagne, which was just insane. So that was lovely, especially because I'm so new to the business as well, and you know, they didn't have to do that, and it was just nice. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got for my birthday. As I said, I think I've probably missed a few things out there. Gosh, I'm actually so hot, but because I've just got my dressing gown on, I can't actually take it off. I think I might have to go and find something else to put on. I am, as I said, going out to the theatre with my friend tonight, which is not strictly a birthday thing, but I haven't seen her to do anything else for my birthday, so I'm kind of classing it as a birthday activity. And then one thing that me and one of my other friends, my bestie, did last year was we decided that instead of getting a physical birthday present, we would do an experience together. And so last year we did pottery painting in Sheffield. Oh, I've got fluff in my eye. It's going to annoy me if I don't get that out. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we did pottery painting in Sheffield. So you could have like tea and coffee and cake, and I actually think they do nights where they do takeaway and stuff as well. I don't know if you can get alcoholic drinks. You might be able to. But yeah, we went there last year. You pay you pay for whatever you want, like what pottery items you want, and then you have like 2 hours, I think, to paint them. So obviously you don't want to get too ambitious, but if you're very quick, then that's good. So yeah, you can pick what you want, paint what you want, and then you just have to wait for them to fire it for you, which takes about 2 weeks for them to get through everything. And then you either go and pick it up, which my friend did last year, or they will post it to you. And so we decided that we enjoyed it so much last year that that's actually what we're going to do for my birthday this year. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. Morning. I was just wondering, does anyone else do their hair and makeup to go to the yard, or is it just me? No, I'm only joking. I am on my way to the yard. I need to be quick sticks, throw the pony in the field. No, I'm not really going to throw him in the field. Once I've been to the yard, I am then going to Sheffield to meet my friend, to go for breakfast, and then, oh, we don't need you on, and then go to Fine Arts so we can do some more pottery painting. I'm so excited. I've got it in my head that I'm going to paint a butter dish, and I've come up with a few ideas of designs. I don't think I love any of them, so I might need to get my thinking cap on, or I might go rogue and potentially paint something else if it takes my fancy when I get there. But yes, that's why my hair and makeup is done. I've got a shirt on underneath my stinky horse hoodie. I've got perfume, I've got clothes in the back. So, yes. Hopefully I don't stink when I get there. Hello. Yes, I am just back from Sheffield. I have been pottery painting, and I'll insert a little picture of what I have painted. I really wanted to do a butter dish. I had my eye on a butter dish since last time I went to this place pottery painting, but I got there and they didn't have any, which I was really upset about. But what I don't have is, do you call them salt pig? I don't have a salt pig. I do have a little dish which I use for salt. But I can repurpose that for something else. But I did a little blue lid, which will match the kitchen, salt pig, and then it's got strawberries around the outside of it. So hopefully it turns out well. Yeah, I'll show you when it arrives. So basically we'll have to wait for 2 weeks for it to be fired, and then my friend who I went with, she's going to collect them for us, and so next time I see her I will collect my salt pig from her. So yeah, that was really lovely actually. We had a really nice brunch as well. We went to a place in Sheffield called Made by Jonty, which is in the Sharrow Vale area. So if you know Sheffield, it's like down the bottom of Ecclesall Road. And there was a nice little market on, and there was people selling antiques and like a maker's market. So there was lots of bread, jams, food stands, cookies, baked goods, all of that kind of stuff. So that was really nice. So we had brunch first and then went up to do our pottery painting. And whilst I have been out, This has just been delivered, which is actually slightly larger than I thought. Basically, I've got a makeup bag. It's fine. It's kind of a vanity case style, but it's mucky, doesn't hold its shape very well. Even with a good clean, I've had it way too long. So I thought I wanted to get a vanity case. So I got this one from Stackers. Now they're not cheap, they're about 65 quid, but it feels quite robust, good quality. I really liked the colour. It comes with a little mirror that you can pull out. This was a selling point for me, I think. I've not pulled it open yet, but you can put all of your brushes in here. And what I was finding was that my brushes were making everything else in here so dirty and disgusting. And yeah, it was getting on my nerves a little bit. So I can put them in here, wash the brushes, wash this separately, and it's not going to make everything dirty in here. So it's quite a lot of space actually. You've got like some pockets in here. You can pull that divider out if you want, or you can pop it in. I like it in just so that everything doesn't get a mess. And then it's got some elasticated bits here so you can have things stood up. And then same up here. So I think on the link online there was like little brushes and mini products and stuff all in there. So I am quite chuffed with that. I need to fill it obviously. And as I say, it's quite big, so I won't take this travelling, but I normally pull out what I need and put it into a smaller box anyway. But if you have the space, it's got handles, so you could travel with it. It's like a little mini suitcase, I guess. But yes, from Stackers. So I just thought I'd show you. Maybe I'll link them. I got this one from John Lewis though, not Stackers directly. But I think they often bring out seasonal colours, so they have a nice like burgundy mulberry kind of colour at the minute as well. What else? Tom is at the pub watching the match, and I think there's a pub quiz on tonight. He's invited me, but I don't really feel like going, and so I think I am just going to make a girl dinner, watch some TV, and prepare for the rest of the week. So I will catch up with you soon.